Hello, I'm David, the spirit in the raw. I bring you channeled messages downloaded as automatic writing from the source. These messages are designed to trigger you in the awakening process and hasten your journey into your next reality. Hello, and welcome to podcast number 44. I know it's been a couple of weeks since I've communicated with you, but there has been a great deal of turmoil going on in the world, particularly focused around the actions in the Ukraine at the moment. These next two downloads, the two very short downloads, are based on what I've received when thinking about and asking about that conflict and our part of what our part is worldwide in how we address it, look at it, feel and react to it. So the first download was downloaded on the 1st of March 2022, and it's entitled Avoid Conflict. Let's begin. This is especially the time to avoid conflict. There is no value in the process of your ascension, in conflict or any violence except to defend yourself from harm. To willingly enter conflict are not the actions an enlightened soul needs to take. Follow the path of peace whenever possible and look to avoid conflict. We know this is difficult, but conflict in response to fear is a negative action that lowers your vibration and feeds the dark forces that are promoting fear. Fear is a lower frequency emotion that drags you back to the third dimension and into the realm of power of the dark forces. Demonstrate love and forgiveness and show your community that love and forgiveness. It will lift your vibrations, and the higher your vibrations, the safer you become. All participants in war are bathed in fear. The ability to rise above that fear and become one with your community is a lesson many will need to learn, for this is the way of the future. The best comfort you can supply those impacted by fear is to lift their vibrations with love and forgiveness. Hatred is a low-level vibration and will not serve you well in these circumstances. To let go of hate and see people for what they are, living, conscious beings of love and concern. Acknowledge their loving nature and respond to that loving nature with love. These are the actions that build community. Care for basic human needs, and your needs will be satisfied. Join your community and help them lift their vibration towards love. These communities build the bond, and the bonds they form will last a lifetime and will form the base for the new future the world needs to ascend to. To be ready for your ascension test, the center of your being and your true intent will be tested, and that is the key to the fifth dimension and the path to the golden age of mankind. End. That's the end of the download. And really what I'm getting from this is that, while all of this fear and war and terror is happening around us, in the most part, it's not happening to us. And that's what we've got to remember. Don't be drawn into the fear. That's pulling your vibration down. What we need to do is to lift your vibration up. Now, this second download was on the 14th of March, 2 weeks later, and it's called War and Peace. And it begins. The message for these times is the same constant message to all of those who are awakened. Use your discernment and intuition to discover the true intent of all you encounter. As the time comes for the harvest, the dark forces are desperate to dissuade you and distract you from your path to ascension. Any distraction that drags down your vibration is the work of their hands. You must focus on love and loving intent, for that is the highest vibration you can generate. Generate love in your actions, thoughts, deeds, and focus on the positive lessons that each obstacle you encounter delivers. While it appears the worst has yet to come, in fact, the worst has been, and the road to recovery is the path you are on. The trauma and fear of war is for the most an opportunity to be the observer rather than the participant. While the tragedy of war surrounds you, you must remain grateful for the peace that also exists around you. Rejoice in the peace, and while it is appropriate to express sympathy and have empathy for those who are actually affected by the war, you, as the observer, should not participate in the fear it is trying to generate. That drags your energy down. Send loving, peaceful thoughts and energy to those people caught in the war, but remain grateful that you are at peace and that peace is the state of the majority of the world. The puppet masters would love to encourage a world war, for the fear and terror it generates would permit them great control over the people. You must not permit this to occur. We will not permit that to occur. As there are forces beyond your Earth who would not want to see total war on planet Earth. The forces that are engaged in these battles between light and dark are constantly at odds, and their fortunes ebb and flow. But at this time, the forces of light will prevail, as is the balance of the universe. And that is the end of this download. And I guess the key message that I get out of that is, although we've got conflict and a lot of fear-mongering and scare about nuclear war and posturing, and the mainstream media is fear-mongering, building all of this fear up, it's fear porn. It's not real. You are not experiencing it. You are not in the conflict. And I even have friends in Ukraine who've been posting social media, and while they're concerned, they're not in danger. So they're not all is what it seems to be. But what we do know is this: the war in the heavens has been won. The dark forces on the ground are desperate, but they're the last throes of death. You need to hold your line. You need to keep your vibration up, to keep your energy up, and to pass that energy on. I hope you've enjoyed this podcast. And if you like what you hear and you feel that it triggers and awakens you and people around you, I'd ask you to like, subscribe, and share. Until next time, thanks for listening, and bye now.